Back to Puna now. Big Island Church is planning a new village of microhomes for eruption evacuees. It could be ready by early August. Our Allison Blair is here with this story, all new at 6. Allison?
Hilo's Connect Point Church is preparing to build 10 micro units in Hawaiian Paradise Park. The pastor tells me he expects to get county approval for the project any day now, so work on the foundation can start this weekend. Over the past week, this lush 1-acre lot off Kaloli Drive has undergone a transformation.
The back of the lot.
Pastor Dion Maeda says the progress is a product of teamwork. Earlier this month, several Hawaii Island churches put out a call to their congregations and in a single Sunday managed to raise enough money to purchase 10 of these 120-square-foot microhomes. Several local companies have also donated their supplies and services to get the project off the ground.
These are everyday working people who sacrificially giving because they see the need in the community.
As of Tuesday, the county said it knew of 477 eruption evacuees in need of housing. While the homes here are only temporary, Pastor Maeda says it will provide people stability until something permanent comes along.
It's a safe place that they can lock up their things, close the door when they leave.
While the homes are paid for, some of the infrastructure is not. Money is needed for utilities, as well as things like restrooms and showers, a community kitchen, and a place to do laundry.
Our hope is to raise at least probably another $25,000 would kind of complete this project.
In the lower East Rift Zone, activity continues with little change. Lava from the Fissure 8 fountain continues to reach heights of about 175 feet as measured during the overnight hours. The lava pulses, sending a shower of hot lava fragments over the rim of the cinder cone, building it slightly higher and wider. The lava exits Fissure 8, traveling at a rate of about 17 miles per hour. It slows down significantly toward the quarry to about 2 miles an hour and significantly less than that at the ocean entry. At the ocean entry, lava is entering in the southern part near the vicinity of vacation land, producing a robust steam and laze plume. The lava has now created a lava delta in seaward that is approximately 380 acres in size. Up at the summit, subsidence continues with the withdrawal of magma at depth. The popular overlook parking area has now slumped into the crater. This area was closed since 2008. Earlier this week, crews installed temporary GPS stations to track the rate of subsidence at the caldera. And today, a UAS team, a drone team, will be up trying to take pictures, weather permitting, of the changes that have occurred in the summit to produce digital elevation models that will help characterize and track the extensive subsidence.
Hawaiian Volcano Observatory reports that Fissure 8 continues to erupt with a full channel flowing to the ocean in one major entry. Fissures 6, 15, and 16 continue producing minor spattering. Trade winds are forecasted to return today, pushing fog to the southwest. As of yesterday, 1,015 people have registered with the Federal Emergency Management Agency for assistance either online, by phone, or at the Disaster Recovery Center. Additionally, the Small Business Administration has handled 329 service requests from homeowners and or businesses at the Disaster Recovery Center. These are among the many resources that are available to residents of Hawaii County who suffered damage or losses from the Kilauea volcanic eruption and recent earthquakes. The Disaster Recovery Center is open daily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and is located at the Keao High School gym. The Hawaii Department of Health is holding a volcanic ash and fog community meetings today at Waikuloa Elementary and Middle School cafeteria beginning at 6 p.m. We're on watch 24 hours a day for your safety. This is your Hawaii County Civil Defense Agency.
Change in the lower east rift zone of the Big Island today as lava continues to flow from Fissure 8 through Kapoho and into the ocean. Fissure 6 meantime, is starting to weaken. Hawaii County today confirms 577 homes destroyed by lava and earthquakes, and 894 people officially registered for assistance with FEMA, or the Federal Emergency Management Agency.
The Disaster Recovery Center is open daily at Kea'au High School. That's between 8 in the morning and 8 at night. U.S. Geological Survey reports Pele's hair and other volcanic gas fragments that can irritate your skin and eyes are still dusting the ground within a few hundred yards of Fissure 8 and could be carried as far away as Pahoa and Hawaiian Acres.
Here's a live look at Halemaumau crater at the summit of Kilauea tonight. The camera filled with a plume of ash. And as explosions keep happening, scientists at Hawaii Volcano Observatory report the crater continues to widen as walls continue to collapse. Hawaii County is urging state lawmakers to hold a special legislative session.
The county says it needs further emergency funding assistance due to the ongoing destruction being caused by the Leilani Estates eruption. Council members say more funding will be needed for road repairs, shelters, and a loss of taxable real property.
Lava has now covered nearly 6,000 acres and destroyed hundreds of homes. Senate President Ron Kouchi says the legislature is ready to help, but concrete solutions to specific issues must be created before any special session could happen.
The main thing is to have any kind of eruption, we have to have a system that is pressurized at depth, and it's usually gas-saturated magma that is more buoyant than its surroundings, that's temporarily held in place in some type of subterranean storage area or magma chamber. But eventually the pressure will build to a point where the container breaks, and when the container breaks, the magma will find its way to the surface, either as a lava-forming eruption, if, for instance, the magma that's erupted allows gases to pass through it rather easily. Although as you increase the silica content of a magma, it becomes more viscous and it's much less passive to gas moving through it. In other words, and the only way to get the gas out of the magma is actually for it to explode.
You mentioned magma, you mentioned silica there. So my next question is, what is the composition of volcanic material? I know you have magma and you also have ash, rocks, things like that. What are the composition of these materials?
Okay, so typically a volcano that's erupting in Hawaii will erupt basaltic lava, and that's a lava with about, say, 50% SiO2, maybe 12% iron oxide, maybe 3 or 4% titanium oxide, maybe 12 to 14% aluminum, maybe 6% magnesium oxide, and maybe on the order of 2% sodium and potassium combined. And then the other thing that these magmas have within them is dissolved gaseous compounds like sulfur, chlorine, CO2, and water.
When we're talking about the gas coming out of the volcano, how dangerous is this volcanic gas?
It can be, for instance, in the case of Hawaii, we have sulfur dioxide being emitted. You also have CO2 that is being emitted, and literally at the fissure vents, the gases are coming out at roughly 2100 degrees Fahrenheit. So not only are they poisonous, they're at extremely high temperature. So being exposed to them is not a good idea.
Since we've made the connection between volcanic eruption and tectonic activity, in other words, do volcanic eruptions cause earthquakes or vice versa, earthquakes causing volcanic eruptions?
There's been only a few cases where you can cite a large magnitude earthquake as having possibly driven a volcano into eruption. And by this I mean like the 1960 eruption of Cotopaxi volcano. It literally had a magnitude 8 earthquake almost directly below its summit. However, one of the things that has to happen for a volcanic eruption to occur is whenever you break rocks in the subsurface to move magma, you're generating a lot of small earthquakes as the magma moves to the surface. And if you have sensitive seismometers distributed, say, within a 15-mile radius of the volcano's summit, you'll record all those small magnitude earthquakes. They're usually smaller than magnitude 2. But they tell us something is happening at the subsurface beneath that volcano, and as such, An increase in the number of small magnitude earthquakes beneath a volcano is often a herald that a volcanic eruption, might be coming in the future.
Volunteers here at New Hope Church have been working since 3 in the morning to prepare hundreds of hot meals for evacuees staying in shelters in both Kea'au and Pahoa.
Put a corn in a small one.
It's not the time to preach. It's not the time to push church. It's about loving on people.
Inside the kitchen at New Hope Church in Hilo, volunteers are whipping up something unusual.
When you guys go to the shelter, you're going to realize the need.
A hot, home-cooked meal. Likely the first one some eruption evacuees will have eaten in days.
These people lost their homes, so they don't get to just walk into their fridge and open it up and take something out and cook whatever they want. They're just eating whatever people are dropping off.
That's why every Thursday for the past 6 weeks, these parishioners have been up before the sun.
So we open up at 3 a.m. We start prepping at 3:30.
Providing comfort through their cooking.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Our volunteers, they come in and they're all joyful. Some people love to cook. Some people just want to do dishes.
Today, they'll prepare, deliver, and serve close to 1,000 meals.
Bless the food that they have prepared with their hearts, God.
At the shelter in Kea'au, our cameras focused on the food to respect the privacy of those who were there.
People, they're really thankful.
As this simple gesture provided a temporary escape, binding this tight-knit community even closer together.
As long as it's going on, as long as there's people in the shelter that need food, we're committed to doing this.
On Hawaii Island, Allison Blair.
Vacancies and resignations at Hawaii's public schools. The head of the teachers union says it all comes down to money. Our Ashley Nagaoka joins us with more tonight. Ash?
Thank you, Kiahi. DOE employment records show more than 400 teachers resigned and left Hawaii during the 2016-2017 school year. That's an increase of 84% in resignations since 2010. That number didn't surprise Carrie Rose, a Wailua elementary school teacher who is getting ready to move to Colorado for another teaching job. The 34-year-old mother of two says she always dreamed of raising her family here in Hawaii, but on a teacher's salary, she says it's extremely difficult.
It's sad that if I want to stay here, I have to choose something other than teaching, and I don't want to choose something other than teaching because that's my passion. That's what I'm meant to do.
We've got to be able to increase teacher salaries, give them more incentives to go into teaching. Otherwise, if this trend continues, there may be a day where we have 2,000 classrooms that don't have teachers.
Rosenlee says he was shocked by the latest DOE numbers. He says teacher vacancies are up 51% from 2011. The number of unlicensed teachers who did not meet state qualifications rose 63%, and the number of in-state education program graduates dropped 29%. Now, HSTA hopes voters will approve a plan to tax residential investment properties to help fund public education. It will be on the ballot in November. It's opposed by the counties who rely on property taxes and the real estate industry, which says it could raise rents for local residents.